I mean, this is literally what they did in Stalin's Soviet. They would come and take people in the middle of the night off to the gulags, and nobody would ever hear from them again. Quiet. Nobody would know about it. Just gone. And this is now what is happening in the UK in 2018. Great Britain, how far thou hast fallen. 70 years ago, you fought for freedom. Now, you have become that which you fought against. Yesterday, Tommy Robinson, a journalist, was live streaming from a court case of a child grooming gang. They had done horrible things. Tommy Robinson's there to live stream from the case. No one else from the mainstream media was there. He was the only guy there covering the case. So what happens then? The police swiftly come and arrest him for, quote, disturbing the peace. And then only 2-3 hours later, he is thrown into 13 months jail for contempt of court. And the worst part here is what comes next, because it's one thing whether you agree or disagree with Tommy or not. You might be right wing, left wing, or whatever. I don't care. I don't agree with everything that Tommy says, but I definitely support everyone's right to free speech. But the thing that comes next is the most shocking part. The UK courts have issued a gagging order, meaning that no one in the media and no person in the UK can talk about Tommy's jail sentence. No one. I'm in Norway myself, so there's no gagging order here, so that's why I'm able to bring you this story. So make sure to share this, guys, because the media in the UK cannot report on this story. This is the most insane thing. Freedom of the press in the UK is gone! Several mainstream media, including RT, Breitbart, Daily Mirror, Birmingham Mail and so on, have all had to delete their stories from the internet, from their websites. It was the intention of the UK court that no one would even know that Tommy right now is in jail, and we won't be able to know anything about what happens to him during his jail sentence. He could be, last time he was in jail, he got his nose broken when he was attacked. Other people in the UK, a man who put bacon outside a mosque, he mysteriously died in jail. Anything could happen to Tommy in jail, and we simply won't have any idea what's happening because it's completely illegal in the UK to talk about what's happening to him. And here's the thing that worries me the most. It's not what Tommy did or didn't do. It's actually that the freedom of the press is completely disappearing in the UK. Freedom of speech is completely disappearing. You're not allowed to talk about Tommy being sent to jail. This really is Stasi tactics, Gestapo tactics. This is what they used to do in Stalin's Soviet or in Hitler's Nazi Germany. People would all of a sudden just disappear overnight and no one had any clue what happened to them. That's what they do in police states. And that is now what the UK has become. The British state is literally using Stasi and Gestapo tactics. Let that sink in for a minute. You never thought that would happen in the West. But yesterday, it did happen. And when you think of it, this is really scary stuff. Someone can just disappear in the middle of the night, you won't have a clue what's happening to them, and they're completely gone, no one will hear a thing. This, basically, they are deleting a person from the country. I mean, that's basically what they're doing. Tommy was arrested and sentenced to 13 months jail within just a couple of hours. And someone who is close to him claims that the police deliberately misled his lawyer, meaning that she couldn't come and defend him and that he only got appointed a, quote, useless court-appointed lawyer instead. If true, this would seem to be very corrupt and would remind one of banana republics. And this isn't the first time that this has happened in the UK. I mean, this has been used in other cases as well. For example, with children that have been taken into foster care by the state. The real parents have been gagged by the court, meaning that they aren't allowed to say anything about what happened to their child. They just took their child, they're gagged, no one's allowed to know about it. Over. It's just all happens in the quiet. It's really scary stuff. And sadly I saw this coming. I mean, back in October last year, I was kind of the first guy that had to flee the UK. As I reported in my video back then, 6 police vans stormed my house looking for me, and police were visiting my parents, harassing them, looking for me. And also a little bit earlier than that, I was also questioned by the police for hate speech because I had an argument with someone, or not an argument really, it was really just more of a debate with someone regarding her religion. And now my parents have had to flee the UK as well, because me and my parents were doxxed by the far left, and we have gotten death threats from Antifa, and my parents' dog was poisoned. And the police refused to help them, saying more or less it was just, quote, our own fault. And then after that we had a whole episode with Lauren Sudden, Brittany Pettibone being banned from entering the UK, and now this has happened. So, I mean, it really seems like the UK is throwing the sledgehammer down on any dissenting opinions. Anyone with a dissenting voice, they completely crack down on them hard. And it's really worrying to see. I mean, I'm probably suspecting that they're probably going to go after people like UKIP and more and more moderate people now. So, you know, any leftists or more centrist people who are not really too worried about this, you should be worried. Because they're not only going after right-wingers, they're going after everyone with dissenting opinions. They go after these people first, and then they come after you next. So it's anyone that is a supporter of freedom has to speak up against this and let the world know the truth and say that no, this is not okay. Freedom is non-negotiable, because this is tyranny. This is tyranny. This is police state, and it has to stop. It's not acceptable in 2018. What kind of country are you living in when someone is getting arrested and thrown in jail and you're not allowed to report on it? You're not allowed to report it. I mean, let that sink in for a minute. This is supposed to be a free country. Well, it's not a free country anymore. I mean, in a democratic country, if anyone, I mean, surely you must be allowed to report on it, to talk about what's happening. But no, this is all happening in the quiet, exactly like Stalin and Hitler did, because this is right out of the Gestapo handbook. So what do you think, guys? Make sure to leave your comment below and hit the like button so that this video gets more views, and most importantly, make sure to share this video all over social media, all over internet, because as I said, in the UK, because of the ban, no one is allowed to report on this in the UK. No one in the UK is supposed to know about what happened. So it's only more important that you share this, because the mainstream media, they are gagged. They're not allowed to report on this. So it's up to people like you and me to report on this. And as I said, I am in Norway, so I am allowed to report on this. So make sure to share this all you can, guys. It's really important for freedom and freedom of speech. And the only reason I can bring you this, guys, is because I'm an independent journalist and I'm not backed by the mainstream media. I rely on you guys. So if you want to support my work at all, it's highly appreciated and much needed. I'll leave the links to my Patreon and my free starter page in the description below. And anything helps me keep going and producing quality journalism like this for you guys. So thank you so much. And now a huge thank you to my special Patreon supporters. I couldn't have done this without you. I really appreciate your help, guys.